Hello, Jai Hind friends. Welcome to the IFoS GK Reflections program. And this will be a session whereby I would like to elaborate and discuss upon the what should be the approach while handling the GK paper and how my understanding on or this program will help you in actually scoring 150 marks. So it will be a strategy or orientation session not only into the GK paper, which was our focus in the orientation session, but also in terms of the what our course or what our program would be. As many of the queries were raised after the first session regarding the approach that needs to be followed. So it is a session to clarify all those doubts and actually provide you with a deep insight to actually on a roadmap on understanding the nature of paper, what should be the strategy road for it, and actually how the paper is designed to help us differentiate from what the approach should be in case of CSE and how it is different in case of let's say IFoS GK paper. And while moving forward, we would also take into consideration certain kinds of questions which are asked and what is the scoring potential as well. So in this video, first of all, we would clarify the queries which were raised after the first video, which was of history, which is freely available for the benefit of all on our YouTube channel. And in addition to this, we will also clear the approach which was being mentioned in that video, particularly for the history and rest of the reflection sessions which is to be followed. And here I would provide you with a strategy for 150 plus in terms of what are the questions which are being asked and how a differentiable and skewed approach is necessary. And while doing so, we need to understand the nature of GK paper and how it is designed, what are its form, and how it actually is different from the CSE paper. And while moving forward, I would provide you on some guidance or some reflection upon how our program will help you in creating difference from, let's say, scoring of 105 115 to scoring around 150 or 155. So this 40 marks difference is tremendous difference, and this can be a game changer not only in terms of getting an interview call but also in terms of selection. So to firstly to clarify our queries and understand the approach, we would what we do like we did in the history session was we actually reflect upon and study the PYQ topics which are being asked, and depending upon the PYQ themes, PYQ topics, we actually come up with something called as topic wise reflections, whereby probable areas or probable questions which may be possible in the actual exam are reflected upon. This will ensure that you have wider topic coverage and a shorter detail based note making for these topics is covered. This note making and short detail study will save your time and give you a crisp and clear understanding of the question wise and thematic approach. So in addition to this, for the purpose of practice and to give a exam like simulation, we have also included certain tests. So there are 3 tests, 2 of which are half length and 1 a full length test. So for those who are actually writing IFoS only, I would suggest you to go for this 3 test approach. And for those who are actually from CS, who are coming from CSE means, they can opt for 2 full length tests only, which are whereby 1 full length test will be same for all and 1 full length test which is combination of 2 sectionals. So this will be a good approach for those who are coming from CSE and these tests can be done after preparation of short details, short notes, and the quality gaps or the writing gaps can be filled by the quality feedback which will be provided after submitting the test. In addition to this, throughout your journey, your period, there will be one-to-one mentorship from me. I have vast experience. I have appeared for 2 interviews, and last year I have scored significant, I would say, good marks as 735, which which are cut off plus 82. The low interview marks of only 159 actually held my selection, and I missed final general cutoff only by 4 marks. So let it be whatever may be the matter for it, but just I wanted to actually express my experience and traditional wisdom that I have, particularly in this segment of IFoS prep. So to repeat it once again, we will have PYQ thematic reflections and then topic-wise analysis of probable themes to ensure that we are actually preparing notes with some short details which are crisp, which save time, and which are ready to be read, written, and delivered in the exam conditions. Secondly, there is a aspect of taking quality tests which reflect the pattern and the similatory aspects of UPSC, provided with the quality feedback for them to uh, provide you details with how to approach, how to understand, and how to improve upon the whatever basic understanding and basic approaches that you are with on a personalized scale. And also there is one-to-one mentorship for accompanying you not only with respect to the GK paper but overall your how to approach the IFoS mains in terms of preparation. So while approaching this GK paper, you need to understand, or you need to come up with a strategy for it. As GK paper, there are 6 questions of 4 parts each. So you need to write 6 into 4, which is equal to 24 questions. And let me tell you, each question is based on a certain theme or a certain topic or certain subject. So question number 1 is on history, generally. Question number 2 is on economy. Question number 5 on environment, and rest follows for the others. In this paper, question number 1, question number 4, and question number 3, which is of history, polity, and geography, they are very predictive and they can be prepared easily. So out of 4 questions from the each, 3 can be easily predicted, written, and actually excelled into. So this makes it a low hanging fruit and very high return on investment topic. So our target for this should be score at least 80-85 marks here, or even as high as 95 marks if you want to score, let's say, 160 plus in this GK paper. And this is very probable considering the fact that we may know 3 to 4 questions, and for this we have notes prepared, we have thematic analysis done, we have notes prepared, and we know what are examples, what are case studies, what are maps to be drawn, what are diagrams to be made in these questions. Or let's say in case of polity, we know what sort of articles are to be written, what sort of cases are to be followed there. So in such cases where prepared questions are there, we can target scoring as high as 65% marks, and which are very probable in this case. Compared to this, questions on environment and economy are slightly tricky in nature. What I meant by tricky, there will be two, maybe 1 or 2 questions where some factual details are to be asked. In addition, questions won't be as direct as they are in the paper of history or let's say polity. So here our focus must be on value addition and enrichment in addition to the predictive analysis. For doing this, our focus must be on writing, and the writing must be in such a manner that it will actually somehow conceal the limited application or limited knowledge that we have on these particular one or two factual questions. And this can be done, or I will discuss this in very detail when we come up with thematic sessions on economy and environment. In addition, predictive analysis can be done for those if you have certain command over the PYQs and with conventional wisdom and analysis that you have. So here itself you have potential to score 45 marks, which is, I feel, slightly lower than that we have in question number 1, 3 and 4. But with good writing skills, good data, good facts, good enrichment, this potential can also be increased. And what is most random and thrown in the nemesis in the GK paper is the question number 6, which is of science and tech. Here almost every year UPSC throws some randomness. Like last year there was question on the lie detector mechanism. Earlier there was question on UN light year. There was question on the dark matter, dark energy. So these kind of questions have very science focus compared to CSC, where technology or application is the focus in science and technology. Here science is the focus, as the service itself is a very scientific. Here our focus must be not to tame the randomness, but rather minimize the variability of it by preparing smartly with certain frameworks or strategies. Here there will be one or two questions which are very unknown, where you won't be able to write even one paragraph or two paragraphs. In that case, you can come up with smart frameworks and smart approaches to handle this. And here the potential of even 15 marks is excellent, but with smartness and good luck in some cases, whereby some the questions from your favorable area appear in the paper, you can reach up to 20 marks. So like in the year 2022, I knew what is dark matter and what is dark energy, so it helped me push my marks from 151 to 150s to 160s. So these 4-5 marks is in terms of expanding our horizons of knowledge, expanding our base, and a little bit in terms of luck factor as well. Next is, for this strategy to work and for this approach to work, we need to identify and we need to come up with and deep understanding of the nature of GK paper. First, we need to say that the GK paper is a game changer. Like, even for two papers of optional, overall marks are 400, and majorly aspirants devote 95% of their times to their optionals, whereby they only come for 800 marks. And where I know variability is high, but the variability is more higher in case of GK and English, whereby marks can vary from 105 to 160. So this 55 marks difference can be used by certain aspirants to actually compensate for the lack of preparation in the optionals. Like, consider my case. In 2022, I scored 319 marks in GK plus English to get an interview call. So my overall marks were in the 650s, but 319 here ensured that I appear for an interview, though my chances of overall selection were marginalized by the low interview scores. But that year itself, I got the understanding that GK and English paper are the game changers, and they can very well conceal your limited understanding or your limited preparation in the optional papers. And rather than focusing on what is your weak area, if we strengthen our strong area, which can be GK for most of the aspirants as they come from the CSE mains. This paper makes them opportunity to score additional extra 20 to 30 marks. So these can be a turning point or the extra push for you to get a selection or for you to get a interview call. The main issue arises here is its lengthy nature. So here you need to write 24 questions compared to 20 in CSE, and some of the questions here demand details. So completion becomes an issue, and in addition to that, where details are there, quality becomes an issue, as for the entire period you end up just in completion. So here structures goes out for a toss, the content goes out for a toss, the intros and conclusion are majorly missed out by the people who write exam, and this actually makes uh, overall writing experience and the quality of paper a bit on the lower side. So if we are about to tame this lengthy nature, I would suggest go for the practice that we have with tests, plus focus on prepared notes and details. So you need not think about details, you need not think about what you are supposed to write, but rather you have that clear understanding, clear mindset, and clear framework on what basis you are going to write. And in addition to this, uh, everyone knows the importance, the game changer abilities, but most of the aspirants are left with no steam after CSE mains, and this makes them with little or no prep, or majorly the focus is on the optional preparation, so which again leaves very little room for the GK prep. So here what they do is they end up with neglect of the overall PYQ syllabus or themes, and then there is a lack of revision which ultimately leads to missing of details in the uh, answers that they write. So let's say the articles will be missed, the cases will be missed, certain acts will be missed, certain examples will be missed. So, and one may feel that preparing and revising entire GS 123 syllabus in a single stroke to actually write the details in the GK paper is a tedious and difficult task. So if we have prepared some details, some notes, some quality content based on some prepared reflective topics, then our job becomes very easier, not only in terms of preparation but also in terms of recall and completion of paper. And one more thing we need to consider for scoring high is the skewed nature of questions. Like I have discussed earlier, question number 1, 3 and 4 versus the approach towards question number 5 and 6 must be differentiable. This differentiable aspect alone would fetch you another benefit you by, let's say, 5 to 10 marks, as your preparation will be oriented by the skewed strategy, the skewed marking, and the and overall benefit of the marking scheme. Now moving forward, we need to focus on how our program will benefit. So firstly, like I have said earlier, either there will be little or no prep, or there will be limited steam left as people come from the CSC mains, or there will be limited room in terms of what people do with optional prep. So here our program will help you in identifying the PYQ themes and also some reflective predictive topics to minimize the randomness. This minimization would may turn you into some uh, turn the tide in your favor, and maybe bring a bit of luck to your side as well. And here, our focus on guided note making and writing test for the dual management of completion of paper, time management, and providing you with a quality feedback overall would ensure that you are ready and on the path for the 150 plus score. In addition to this, our my special attention in the one-to-one and personalized mentorship, particularly for those who are coming from the CSC mains or those who are coming from the IFoS only prep, is very central, as this differentiating approach is necessary to make maximum out of whatever resources that you have in hand, and ensure that you are actually cruising on not only to the path of interview but to the path of ultimate selection. And also, there were some queries raised from the Hindi medium students who actually appear for the IFoS mains from the English medium. As IFoS does not have Hindi or any other medium as a way of as an option to medium change, all of them have to write in the English medium itself. As some of them have reached out to me personally, I would say this program will help you in actually streamlining your preparation, reducing your efforts in terms of English medium change, and will provide you a personalized attention, personalized approach to make the most out of the opportunity that you have of writing IFoS mains. And last but not the least, this program will ensure that your efforts are actually commensurate with the importance. Like I've said earlier, the 300 versus 400 conundrum. So if there is a paper of 300 marks and whereby we have potential to score 150 plus here, which is almost greater than 50% marks, so your efforts must be commensurate with this, the importance that we have. And our program is entirely based on having your efforts, having your intention, and having your approach commensurate with the importance, the centrality, and the respect that the GK paper deserves. I think all of my doubts, all of the approaches, and all of the queries have been cleared by me. Even if you have any kind of doubts, you can reach out to me directly on the Telegram via IFoS Reflections at the ID of IFoS _ reflections. And we have also a YouTube channel whereby some of the few strategy and thematic sessions will be uploaded. Rest will be paid for the subscribers. And also, if you have any personal query or in personal detail, you can connect with me directly via Telegram or via this phone number. Jai Hind, bye bye, thank you. All the best.